ECAT's production of OA Sports are provided by RevT, we simplify technology for better, Easton Lions Club, Morris Insurance, Doug King Bills Incorporated. ECAT would like to thank all the sponsors for the support of producing OA Sports.
Spring has sprung and baseball is back. Welcome to today's home opener as the neighboring Mansfield Hornets have come to Frothingham Park to face your Oliver Ames Tigers. I'm Adam Rivero, back for the 2025 season to provide play-by-play on behalf of Easton Community Access Television. Thank you for joining us for this 2025 season. We'll go ahead and start by giving you today's starting lineups with the Mansfield Hornets first. Number 13, center fielder Darren Sanders will be leading off. Number 2, third baseman Riley Sigmund. Number 11, shortstop Charlie DeSells. Batting cleanup, number 9, first baseman Rogan. Batting fifth, number 10, DH Luke McGuire. Then number 8, the pitcher Jack Peabody. Number 22, left fielder Ethan Kukarski. Number 31, second baseman Evan Hefez. And then finally, number 24, catcher James Warren. And for your Oliver Ames Tigers today, leading off, number 1, the left fielder, senior Tristan Tremlett. Number 24, second baseman, also a senior, Cade Fowler. Batting third, number 8, shortstop, A.J. Baroncelli, a junior. 25, batting cleanup, the DH, Henry Burr, a sophomore. Number 15, batting fifth, third baseman, Justin Phillips, a senior. Number 7, catching, Drew Hall, a senior. Batting number 7, number 4, center fielder, Harrison Fitzpatrick, a senior and captain. Number 27, first baseman, Tom Whiteside, a senior, batting 8th. And then number 9, right fielder, Ben Newton, a senior as well. Well, last year, the Oliver Ames Tigers had a 4-16 record. They missed the postseason. It was a difficult season, but yet already seeing some signs of improvement this year with the 08 Tigers. 1-0, winning their first game on Monday away at Franklin, and looking to build upon that here today. And interestingly enough, in the very, very far too early Davenport division race, OA is the only team with a win. All the other 5 teams in the division have 1 loss, and so sitting here today at Frothingham Park, you're looking at the division leader with 1 game here for the season so far. So a lot of season still to be played, but certainly a good omen to start for Oliver Ames. And for Mansfield, coming in last year with a 15-8 record, but are so far 2-2 for the year. Only 1 conference game, being a loss against Dighton Rehoboth last week. But they have won the division championship, the Davenport division title, the last 2 years, sharing it 2 years ago with Foxborough, and then winning it outright last year. Oliver Ames and Mansfield, obviously, neighboring towns with a lot of history between them. But over the last few years, Mansfield has had the better of Oliver Ames, with none of the players on the current team having had a win against Mansfield. Certainly, Oliver Ames fans are hoping that will change today. As I just mentioned, the Hornets are 2-2 for the season so far, notching wins against Plymouth South and Norton, while dropping their games against DR as well as King Philip. We're getting ready for game time here in just a moment. It is 45 degrees out today, very crisp baseball weather. Slight breeze crossing the field from left to right. Kicking up into gusts here and there, but I don't think anything that should play too much into the games today. The umpires are getting ready in their positions, and we're going to have some baseball here in just a second. Ryan Johnson on the hill today for Oliver Ames, making his first start of the year, the junior. And stepping up to the plate here in just a moment will be Mansfield's first at bat of the day with Darian Sanders, the center fielder. I don't know about you, but it is spring. It's time for baseball, and it's good to be back at Frothingham Park, our hometown park here in Easton. And as Sanders steps to the plate, it's time for our home slate of the year to commence. Let's play some baseball. The first pitch, a little bit high for a ball. Mansfield had 12 seniors graduate from their team last year, and so you're going to be looking at a much younger slate of players for Mansfield as Johnson fires that second one in there for a strike. Count 1-1. Pitch hits the outside corner for a strike. 1-2 to Sanders. Interesting enough, OA actually has the more experienced team on the field today, putting out 7 seniors. Strike 3, a swing and a miss. Ball is in the dirt, but a quick throw to first. Make sure that the K is registered. And that's 1 away. Next at bat for Mansfield, the third baseman, Riley Sigmund. The righty in the first pitch. High for a ball. Oliver Ames. Rotation is very junior heavy this year with A.J. Baricelli, Ryan Johnson, Andrew Whiteside, Alex Aday, and Jack Devonshire. Second pitch also high for a ball. Count 2-0. Captains this year for OA, Harrison Fitzpatrick and Andrew Whiteside. Just outside. That was close. 3 balls, no strikes. The third baseman, Sigmund. Johnson with the pitch. Very high. That'll be a ball 4. Good news for that pitch is whether it was a foot away from the plate or just a few inches, it was ball 4, and so the runner takes his base. So the Hornets have a runner on first, 1 out. Charlie DeSells, the senior, shortstop. Stepping up to the plate, actually going to change his bat here, I believe, after a talk with Coach Hall. Mansfield is coached by Chris Hall. Had a talk with him before the game today, and excited about the new crop of players that he has come up with and defend their 2-time Davenport title. Johnson looks to first, and the runner scurries back. But talking with both the coaches here today, there is a sense that Davenport division is wide open. 6 different teams make up the Davenport division. Kelly Rex division, the other division of the Hockomock League. Count is 0-1. Johnson deals. Slow roller to the second baseman, makes the decision to throw to first for out number 2. Runner does advance to second base. Sigmund on second. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs for the Hornets. The first baseman, Luke Rogan. Now at bat. High for ball one. Luke Rogan is perhaps the star of Mansfield's team. Actually, just had a write-up on HawkAmongSports.com as one of the players to look out for this year in the Hawk League. He also pitches. He's had 10 varsity starts, over 60 innings pitched at the varsity level. He's already committed to Nichols College. He's a foul tip. Is strike one. Mansfield's regular season finale last year, win over Xavier. Rogan tossed 4 scoreless innings in relief, had 3 strikeouts to help earn the win. That's going to be a gapper. Right fielder's going to pick it up, throw to home, but the throw will be just a moment later. Rogan breaks to second and slides, and also is safe. Rogan with the double and the RBI. Throw from Tristan Tremblett in right field, or rather left field. Just a moment late, and then the quick throw by Drew Hall to second, also just a touch late. For the same situation, a runner on second, 2 outs. Swing and miss. Right inside, pitch right at the nose for strike one. So Mansfield strikes first. Hornets 1, Tigers nothing here at the top of the first. Luke McGuire, the DH now. Takes for a ball. Swing and a miss once again for strike 2. 1-2 count. Mansfield up by 1 here at the top of the first. Rogan takes his lead on second. And the pitch. Strike 3 as he watches it go by. And that will end the inning, but the damage is done with 1 run scored by Mansfield. And with the Tigers ready to come up here at the bottom of the first, the score is Mansfield 1, Oliver Ames nothing. It's a busy day for Oliver Ames sports today with 11 different games, 11 different teams playing, including what's going on here at Frothingham Park. Right now, varsity boys lacrosse is playing at Franklin High School. Also, varsity girls tennis is playing at Mansfield. Froshmore boys baseball is at Mansfield today. Junior varsity boys baseball is at Mansfield today. Varsity boys tennis against Mansfield. Junior varsity girls softball at Mansfield. Varsity girls softball, Mansfield as well. 4:15, junior varsity girls lacrosse will be playing against Franklin. 5:15, junior varsity boys lacrosse also against Franklin. And then 5:30, varsity girls lacrosse against Franklin. So a lot of activity today for Oliver Ames. And it's spring, the sports have changed, and of course you would like to see the weather a little bit warmer. The sun is starting to go away right now. And so any kind of warmth that we might have had a few minutes ago from the sun is rapidly going away, and it is a little bit of a cool wind coming through, but it is spring baseball nonetheless, and it's good to be able to be back here at Muddy Worcester Field, Frothingham Park. Again, one of the more unique baseball fields you'll find anywhere here in the league. One of the intricacies of this field, as Oliver Ames is ready for the bottom of the second with Tristan Tremblett up to bat. Pops up foul for strike. One of the intricacies of this field is the very, very far backstop, about 60 feet back from home plate. Of course, it's 60 feet, 6 inches from the pitcher's mound to the plate. So the same distance to the backstop. And that causes problems for pass ball, wild pitches. And runners very easily taking a base on a wild pitch, sometimes taking two. And pop to center field as Darian Sanders takes a few steps, makes the catch for out number 1. Tristan had a good swing at it, but hit it right to the center field. Second up for Oliver Ames, the second baseman, Cade Fowler, is a senior. The pitch. A bit low for ball 1. Dropped. The second baseman was actually the one to make a play on it. Went back. Center fielder came forward. Second baseman made the call for it, but then dropped it. Hit off the heel of his glove. Be an error. Foul being on first. A.J. Barancelli coming up to bat. So 1 out, runner on first. AJ at the plate. Pitch is low, very low. Almost looked like a pitch out there, trying to catch the runner at first. Cade stayed. Now takes his lead. 1 ball, no strikes. What a rip there to left field. Fielded cleanly by the left fielder. And that'll advance the runners. Now runners on first and second with 1 out. And D.H. Henry Burr, the sophomore, up to bat. What I believe would be his home debut today on the varsity team. He's got a runner in scoring position with 1 out. First pitch comes in. Low for a ball. It's good to see Oliver Ames taking it right back to Mansfield after they drew first blood. Outside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Peabody with the pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. Fowler takes his lead. AJ stepped out a little bit as well as time is called by Henry. Take a few cuts there and step back in.
Let's go, Jack! Go, Jack, attack.
The pitch. A little bit of a curve there, some movement, dropped into the zone for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Contact is made right back to the pitcher, who's going to throw to second, looking for the double play. Double play is going to be made. And 08 was trying to knock on the door there, but instead, that's the end of the inning. Well, after 1, it's Mansfield Hornets 1, Oliver Ames Tigers nothing. We'll be back in a moment for the second inning here on ECAT.
Here you go. Walked it over. Yeah. I thought that kid was gonna nail you running. Good work. Good job. Way to work, Jack. Got a boy. Okay, good.
gotta work. Gotta work here. Another number. Put that early, ready to hit. Put that early, ready to hit. Does that work? Yeah, I'll go trail runner. I thought we were going for the. No, I agree. I think it's horrible. So first and second go in front. Exactly. Nice, hey, on pass balls we're aggressive, right? On pass balls we're aggressive. Yeah, when I'm walking. I feel my shoulder. Come on, Jack. It's actually my right shoulder.
We're back at Frothingham Park for the top of the second. All of our Ames is behind 1-0 at this point. A lot of game to be played still. Stepping in for Mansfield will be the pitcher, Jack Peabody. Johnson with the pitch. Bottom corner of the strike zone. Great placement for a strike. Pitcher on pitcher duel here. Swing and a miss for a strike. Same spot, got him to chase. Counts 0-2. The next pitch. Same exact spot and same exact result, with that being the third strike. 3 great pitches from Ryan Johnson there. 2 strikeouts in a row. Left fielder Ethan Kucharski's coming up. The lone sophomore playing today for Mansfield. And Johnson deals. Low for a strike. You have to like how Ryan Johnson is using all the strike zones right now. He's painting the edges well, and Drew Hall is framing those pitches well, as that's also in their first strike. Drew Hall behind the dish for another season. 0-2 is the count. Pop up. Well out of play. And the count remains 0-2, 1 out. Again, the score is 1-0 early here. Top of the second. And the throw to home. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And that's Ryan Johnson's third strikeout in a row. Gotta like what you're seeing right now from Ryan Johnson, although it's unfortunate that the score is 1-0. At the same time, he's been putting together some good sequences against some of these batters here. That's outside for a ball. With the second baseman, the 8th in the order, Evan Hefez, up to bat. 1-0. Check swing. The call is strike. 1-1 is the count. Here's the throw. Outside for a ball. The count is 2-1. Thought about it once again. Gutsy take for a ball. 3-1 is the count with 2 outs. The pitch. outside corner for a strike. Full count. 2 outs. Ryan looking for his 4th strikeout in a row. And here it comes. That ball is slapped down the left field line, but it is foul. And the count remains full, 3-2. Good contact there for Hefez, but foul. Here's a throw. Contact's made again. That is going to be fair. And a great catch. A.J. Baroncelli, or Anthony Baroncelli. Excellent. He's A.J. Anthony. It's a great catch nonetheless. Kind of a circus catch there, trying to make sure he could grab it over the shoulder. He did, and that will end that half inning. Well, in between innings, we like to give you some community events, some things that are happening in Easton. And coming up here on April 26th is annual town election. Easton voters are encouraged to plan ahead on how they would like to vote in the April 26, 2025 annual town election. You can learn about voter options, find out about the deadline of registering to vote, and also apply for a vote by mail ballot, all by going to easton.ma.us. And I'd encourage you to go and do that. Exercise your right to vote. Of course, if you go vote in person, you'll go to the Oliver Ames Gymnasium. That's where the polling places are for all 6 precincts here in Easton. The Easton Water Division has their 41st annual Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day. 41 years, incredible. That's coming up on Saturday, April 19th from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. That's at the DPW on 130 Center Street in Easton. And there's all kinds of things that you can bring. There's all kinds of things that you cannot bring as far as acceptable items. The Easton Lions Club will also be there at the DPW with special pickup and pricing. They can help you with things like refrigerators, stoves, washers, dryers, AC, dehumidifiers, metal, furniture, household items, TVs, computer monitors, water heaters, up to 40 gallons, mattresses, and box springs. Hazardous Waste Day in Easton, April 19th. Well, back at the bottom of the second, and Oliver Ames is at bat. Justin Phillips, the third baseman, is now in the count 2-0. That was a very, very low strike. Count is 2-1. Peabody with the throw. Also on the corner. Strike 2. Does seem like we have a little bit of a larger strike zone so far from our umpire today behind the dish, but he's been calling it that way for both sides. Strike 3. Again on that same outside corner for Phillips. He sits down, and that is the first out for Oliver Ames. Coming up next, number 7, the catcher, Drew Hall. And Peabody notches his first strikeout of the day. Again, hitting that outside corner, called strike. The pitcher today, his name is Peabody. Could be Peabody, but you know, when you live in Massachusetts, you want to call everyone Peabody. And as I'm saying that, that is a ground ball that goes past a diving shortstop for a single. Drew Hall gets on base. A little bit of a seeing eye single there for Drew. Just past the extended glove of shortstop Charlie DeSellis. And we've got a runner on base with 1 out. Grayson Fitzpatrick at bat. Peabody makes sure that Drew Hall is close to the bag. He's poised, looking to run outside for a ball. As I was mentioning, I think Peabody, of course Peabody, Mass. I hope if your family's watching, Jake, that I'm saying your name right. Well outside, maybe a pitch out there for a ball. Count is 1-0 with 1 out. Inside for a ball. Right there about chin high. Harrison kind of moving out of the way there. Ball 4. We may have had a little bit of a miscount on my end of the pitches, but that is going to be a walk for Tommy Whiteside. I mentioned Fitzpatrick. I believe I might have a mistake here on my notes here, and so in fixing that, we have men on first and second. That'd be Drew Hall on second and Tommy Whiteside on first, so my apologies for that. With the number 9 hitter, right fielder Ben Newton. Strike 2. Get Mansfield up 1-0. Runners on first and second with the number 9 hitter Ben Newton at bat. He makes contact with a slow dribble. The charging third baseman makes the play so that Newton is out at first, but that does move your runners to second and third. So Newton's out with the fielder's choice, but the runners do advance, so you have 2 runners in scoring position with the top of the order. Tristan Tremblett back up for his second time. Connects to the left fielder, who makes the catch. Well, once again, Oliver Ames is close. They're knocking at the door. We'll see what happens in the third, but in the meantime, at the end of the second, the score is still Mansfield 1, Oliver Ames 0. We'll be back in a moment here in ECAT.
ECAT's production of OA Sports are provided by RevT, we simplify technology for better, Easton Lions Club, Morris Insurance, Doug King Bills Incorporated. ECAT would like to thank all the sponsors for the support of producing OA Sports.
From frosty Frothingham Park here today, where your play-by-play announcer as well as your engineer are trying our best to stay warm out here today, but we've got a hot contest here as the Number 9 hitter James Warren squared up to bunt, but bunted foul past the third base line, and so the count is 0-1. But yet it is very cold out here today. Not exactly what you think of when you think of baseball, springtime, warmth, but we're not quite there yet. Pop up into foul territory. Drew Hall's trying to make the catch, but it falls into the Mansfield dugout. Unplayable. Makes the count 0-2. OA had a 1-2-3 inning. Last inning against Mansfield, the 6, 7, 8 hitters went down in order, and Johnson's looking to do the same here in the top of the third. Pop up, left field, shallow, and A.J. Baroncelli comes from shortstop to make the catch for out number 1. Mansfield's back to the top of the order now with Darian Sanders, the center fielder, stepping up to bat. The first pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. Mansfield batters have had some difficulty on some of those moving pitches. Second pitch of the at-bat is low for a ball. Another ball for a count of 2-1. Ball 3. Thought that might have been a strike, but they don't ask for my opinion. 3-1 is the count. The next pitch in there for a strike. Looking out at the crowd here today at Frothingham, and a lot of coats, a lot of parkas, and a lot of Duncan out there right now as people are trying to stay warm. Here's the pitch. That's fouled right back to the broadcast location where I ducked for some strange reason, even though there's a chain link fence between me and the foul ball. The count remains 3-2. Hopefully you still got a good look from our camera location there. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's Ryan Johnson's 4th strikeout so far in 3 innings. So it's 2 outs. The third baseman, Riley Sigmund, the second in the order at bat, the righty. Johnson deals to the outside for a ball. And the next pitch, here it comes. A little bit high. 2-0 is the count. Also a little bit high, about the same spot. 3-0. Ryan with the pitch. Strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs. Again, it has been several years since OA has had a win against Mansfield. Popped up. Drew takes off the mask. Catches it in foul territory. Drew Hall for out number 3. Great catch there, Drew. Once again, it's a 1-2-3 inning. for Oliver Ames. The score remains 1-0. I don't know if you've been driving down Depot Street the last few days, but if you have, you noticed there's been some construction, and that's because construction has begun on the municipal building project. Starting the week of April 7th, construction activity will be picking up in the area of 321 Main Street and 524 Depot Street as work on the police, fire, and public works complex and fire substation begins. Survey crews are already on site, and construction crews will be on site on installation of erosion controls. Beginning the week of April 7th, work will likely include land clearing, and work progresses on this property. Note that hunting will not be allowed, and note the posted signage. If you have questions about the project, you can email eastonpsw@pmaconsultants.com. And I will tell you that I was just driving down Depot Street, I believe it was yesterday, and it was jarring to, in about 24 hours, how much land had been cleared over there for that project. They are moving, at least with the land clearing, at a pretty good clip. And so be aware of that and some lane closures as you're going around that direction. Well, it's the bottom of the third inning. The number 2 hitter, Cade Fowler, steps in. Actually, that's number 1, Tristan Tremblett. There's actually been a couple of changes here from the posted lineup that I have, so I'm going to try to be a little bit more careful in calling names here, as that is a foul for the second strike, 0-2. I'll try to be a little bit more careful in calling these names because what I have written here and who's stepping up have maybe a change in the lineup before strike 3. A swinging strike there for out number 1. But there was a change somewhere that I have missed, perhaps even before the game from the lineup that I had, so I apologize for that. But I am sure of this, the score is 1-0. I'm sure that there is 1 out, and Tristan Tremblett just struck out swinging, and that Cade Fowler now, number 24, is at bat. Connects again. The second baseman's trying to reach it, but actually the right fielder is the one who moves in and makes the catch for out number 2. That second baseman raced from his position to try to make that catch, but the right fielder actually had a better play on it, stepped in, made the easy out for out number 2. Good contact again by Cade, who reached on a hit or an error, depending on how you scored it back in the first inning. A.J. Baroncelli now at bat and swings and misses for strike number 1. One and 1 is your count. Again, that wind that you're hearing on the broadcast right now is a very chilly wind. Ball, AJ just stood there as that ball whizzed past the top of his helmet. A little bit of break on it, but still well outside. Counts 2-1. Chopper right down the middle. Second baseman is going to grab it, but it's going to be too late as he throws a dribbler to first base. AJ once again at first. 2-2 for the day. 2 singles. A good start for the day for him. The designated hitter, Henry Burrs, up to the bat. He hit into that inning-ending double play back in the first. Looking to exact his revenge here in the third. Again, his first home game, the sophomore. Great cut. That's foul, and that will be our first foul ball onto the street. Anytime you're here at Frothingham Park and you see a foul ball go past the third baseline, past the stands, towards the street, you wait for the inevitable car to get hit. And we didn't hear it that time, so that's good. Peabody looks back at first to see if Jake's going to run, or rather if AJ's going to run. Bottom dropped out of that pitch there into the strike zone for strike two. 0-2 is the count. 2 outs. Again, Mansfield up by 1 here at the bottom of the third. Pickoff attempt. Not nearly as close as the Mansfield bench seems to think it was. As AJ safely slides back into first. Again, the count's 0-2, 2 outs. The pitch from Peabody. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3, and that's the end of the inning. Well, we've finished 3 here at Frothingham Park. The score remains Mansfield 1, Oliver Ames nothing. We'll be back in a moment.
They take a lap.
Go, hey, spoke 10 early, right? Spoke 10 early, ready to hit. Spoke 10 early, ready to hit.
We're back at Frothingham Park, and it's the top of the fourth. Mansfield still up by 1. After the score in the first inning, OA has just been mowing them down right here. Foul ball, strike 1. Actually had to talk with Coach Abard just a moment ago in the break and let me know there was a lineup change right before first pitch. And so I had a lineup card that was a little bit off as that ball goes up into the berm. Strong hit from Charlie DeSellas, the shortstop. He's got a double there to lead off the inning. He had quite a rip off of that and went right between Harrison and Ben in the outfield, and that ball rolled all the way to the berm out there near the tree. And Mansfield starts off the inning with their first really good rip of the game, I would say. Just solid contact. Foul ball behind the OA dugout for a strike. Probably go back to the first. Luke Rogan had a double in the first inning And speaking of that, back up to the plate again. Rogan again, their standout player for Mansfield. Looking for an RBI here. It's a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Rogan definitely looking to bring that runner home on that pitch. Johnson deals. Check swing. Strike 3. Rogan doesn't like it, but the call is made. And he sits down, and there's 1 out. Designated hitter, number 10, Luke McGuire, up to bat. Struck out in the first inning. And swings and misses here. Really chased after that pitch. 0-1. Runner on second. 1 out. 0-1 is the count. He looks back and pitches. Pop up. Just like that, McGuire's in a hole, 0-2. Again, struck out to end the first inning. And the pitch. Foul tip keeps him alive. It's one thing with those aluminum bats, you can always tell when there's contact, even if it's foul tip. At that very unique pinging sound. Again, 0-2, 1 out. The pitch. Strike 3 at the bottom of the zone. And that's another K for Johnson. His 6th strikeout on the day. And the pitcher, Jack Peabody. Back up to the dish. 2 outs, runner on second. Ryan looking to neutralize the threat. Ground ball, shortstop grabs it. Throw to first. In time for out number 3. Mansfield had a runner on second with no outs, but could not capitalize. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. And they come away empty-handed. The Easton Historical Society has an April open house coming up on the 13th of the month from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. The topic, Easton and the American Revolution. They say this: join us for a fascinating journey back in time as the Deborah Sampson chapter, the Daughters of the American Revolution, present an interactive look at Easton's role in the American Revolution. There'll be family-friendly activities, including children's crafts, historic displays showcasing Easton's revolutionary past, music of the Revolution, information on the DAR, genealogy and family history, and you can meet members of the Sons of the American Revolution dressed in Revolutionary War uniforms. That will be at the Easton Historical Society at 80 Mechanic Street, one of Easton's gems, I would say. If you've never been over to the train station, the Easton Historical Society, do yourself a favor and get over there because it really is a great place. Just drive by. If you see the open flag out there, go on in and talk to the volunteers who are there. They do such a great job preserving Easton's past and putting on some really great programming. And so do yourself a favor and head over there here on April 13th. Number 15, Justin Phillips is going to be The first batter here at the bottom of the fourth. Again, Mansfield remains up 1-0. Scored in the first. And really have been stymied for the remainder of the time. Ryan Johnson with 6 strikeouts is the story of the day for Oliver Ames so far. And OA has knocked on the door several times, but the Tigers have not been able to produce yet. First pitch is low. Good take. Phillips is 1-0. Phillips struck out his first time at bat. A low strike on the outside corner. 1-1. That strike zone is a little wide and low, I would say, but it's been consistent all day for both teams. Now, it's not that wide and it's not that low because that is a ball, 2 balls, and 1 strike. Swing and a pop-up to the second baseman who makes the catch for out number 1. Drew Hall is going to come to the plate now. It's 1 for 1 for the day with a single. 1 out. Peabody outside and low for a ball. Peabody's had some decent movement on some of his pitches here today. Strike call, 1-1. Peabody himself with 3 strikeouts so far. Contact is made. Deep fly ball. But the center fielder makes the play for the catch. And that's out number 2. Tommy Whiteside up to bat, and this is where I got a little bit off before, and so my apologies to families that may be watching or anyone who might be catching up later on the replay. My apologies for my mistake, but Tommy Whiteside is up to the plate now. 1-0. Foul tip about 10 feet above my head. Again, that chain link fence. Thank the Lord. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. Coach Chris Hall there kind of corralling the pitch. His 5th year as the coach of the Mansfield Hornets. 3 balls, 1 strike to Whiteside. Strike 2. Full count, 2 outs. Bases are empty. Scores 1-0. Tommy looks for the pitch. Grounder to the second baseman. Throw to first, a little bit high, but corralled. Touches the base, and that is out number 3. Well, we're done with 4 here at Frothingham, and the score remains Hornets 1, Tigers nothing. We'll be back after the break here on ECAT.
Go, let's get those bats going. Base runners. Lead the way.
It's so cold, I need the extra batch.
Are you leading the way?
Half for you on deck.
Sammy. Honey, you lead the way. Sammy. I don't know about that. No, it's a strike.
Hey.
I don't know, man.
be a good one.
Shiggy. Not throwing a little bit. Throwing a little bit.
Who's the airplane? I have it on. Yes, on. Do you like that jacket? Do you like that jacket? What? Yes, you grab the ball.
I thought it was good. I thought you went to get his inspection. Everyone calls Rogan like regardless of like. Just roll with it. Good job,
And we're back at Buddy Worcester Field here at Frothingham Park for the top of the fifth. 1-0 Mansfield. Ethan Kacharski to bat. Ball is low. Very business-like game here so far. Just clocking in at an hour. It's already at the top of the fifth. Don't even have a pitch clock. We're moving here. Chopper to third. Throw to first. Not in time. It actually goes past the first baseman, Whiteside. But the runner will remain on first as time is called. So Justin Phillips collects the ball, but just slow enough getting to him that the throw was not in time at first. So Evan Heffes, the second baseman, steps in at the plate. Again, we are at the top of the fifth. Score is still 1-0. The bunt goes right back to the pitcher who makes the play to first. Runner goes from second to third and is going to be safe at third. Heads up base running there on the part of Ethan Kacharski. So sacrifice bunt there for Mansfield means that there is one out and a runner on third. And once again, Oliver Ames will have to try to keep the Hornets at bay. Of course, they had a runner on second, no outs last inning, and weren't able to produce. Looking for the same right now. Warren, the catcher, at the plate, and the 9-hole for Mansfield. The first pitch is a called strike. Oh for 1 so far for the day with a fly out. Ball, 1-1. Here's the pitch. The pop-up right to the third baseman who makes the play. So the bunt ended up being a pop-up that was caught by the third baseman who was playing in. The runner did make it back to third base. So 2 outs off of the botched bunt. Darian Sanders back for his third turn at the plate. 0 for 2 on the day, 2 strikeouts. And the guys are going to talk it over for just a moment. Coach Abar's coming out as well. So Oliver Ames hanging tough in this game. You know, calling the games last year, usually Oliver Ames would have an inning where just everything came off the rails. And so far, from what we've seen from the away game a few days ago in Franklin and here, they're really keeping these games tighter as far as winning 2-1 in Franklin on Monday. This game 1-0, and been some opportunities where it could have really gone off the rails, but they've contained the damage and looking to do the same here with that runner on third. 2 outs now. Again, Darian Sanders, center fielder, at the plate. And a runner 90 feet from home. Strike one call. Count is 1-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And Ryan Johnson is 1 pitch away from getting Oliver Ames out of another jam. OA bench is feeling it right now. Here's the pitch. He rings him up for strike 3. And Ryan Johnson notches his 7th strikeout here on the day. A slow call by the umpire there for the strikeout. But once again, a runner is stranded in scoring position for Mansfield. They cannot cash in on the opportunity. Oliver Ames shuts him down. Boy, that's great to see. We're going to head into the bottom of the 5th here in just a moment, but Mansfield remains up 1-0. Again, reminding you of some community events and things that are taking place here around town. There is an artist on display at Town Hall. The Town Hall over the last year or two has been taking different artists for different seasons and displaying local art. And currently, Cormac Ganshert is this month's artist on display at the Easton Town Hall. Cormac is an Easton-based illustrator specializing in pictorial maps and environmental painting. You can learn more about him at Ganshert Illustration or at Ganshert Art on Twitter, or you can find out more at easton.ma.us. His work will be on display at Town Hall, 136 Elm Street, through April 7th, so you don't have much longer to take a look at that. Well, we're already into the bottom of the 5th inning. Ben Newton at bat, and foul ball well out of play on the first base side, 0-1. Again, Oliver Ames hanging tough here today. Behind by 1. Swing and a miss for strike 2 for Ben. He's the right fielder today. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. 1-2. Peabody trying to get him to chase, and Ben unwilling to do so. Same again. Outside, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Pop up, again foul and out of play. Your count remains 2-2. As that foul ball slowly dribbles over to the basketball court. Ben, ready to take the pitch. Inside, and he hits it right off the knuckles. A slow roller that will get thrown to first for out number 1. That knuckleball there, just off the knuckle of the bat there, had almost the same effect as a bunt, but Peabody was able to field it cleanly and get it to first in time for the out. We're back to the, actually we're not back to the top of the orders just a moment here. We actually have Harrison Fitzpatrick up. He pops that foul. That's going to go onto the track where the third baseman had a play and missed it, and it drops harmlessly. A lucky break there for Harrison, as that was playable. Third baseman overplayed it, tried to correct, but it was too late, as it fell harmlessly onto the track. 0-2, however, is the count for Harrison Fitzpatrick, the senior, captain, and it's outside for ball one. Ripped down the first base side, but the first baseman makes the play, flips it over to the pitcher, who gets over to the first base just in time. Gritty play by Harrison, diving, trying to make it into first base before the pitcher made it there, but was just a second or two late. 2 outs. We're back to the top of the order for Oliver Ames with Tristan Tremblett up to bat. He's 0 for 2 for the day. Here's the pitch. Makes contact, slow roller to the second baseman, who pumps, throws to first, just like that. That's out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning there for Oliver Ames. And the score remains Mansfield Hornets 1, Oliver Ames Tigers nothing. We'll be back in a moment here on ECAT.
Put it together. Let's have it at bat here, guys. Everyone on the base. Let's go now. Come on. This is where we're going to take it.
At ECAT, we're here to keep you connected and involved in the community. On ECAT, you can explore the town with Gail Devins.
Hello, I'm Gail Devins, and welcome to our show, Discover Easton.
Tell your story with Harrison Young on Topic Time.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young on a...
Learn something new with the Ames Free Library. Relax with the Ron Van Dam Show.
Ron Van Dam Show, that's who I am. I'm Ron Van Dam. Thank you so much.
Check in on the latest in live town meetings.
2022 Select Board meeting, and Happy New Year.
Stay up to date with Oliver Ames High School news and live sports.
Tiger Talk.
Share your thoughts on the community forum.
Welcome to Community Forum.
And listen to some exciting new music. So stay connected with Easton Community Access Television.
We're back in Frothingham Park. It's the top of the 6th. Mansfield up to bat. The number 2 hitter, Riley Sigmund, steps in. Again, the score is 1-0. Very tight game here at Frothingham. This has been a good one today. Ryan Johnson, 7 strikeouts already on the day. First pitch just a touch low for a ball. It's a quality start for Ryan, no matter what the end result is here today. Got to be pleased. Check swing. Strike. 1-1. Umpire has a little bit of a slow call on some of those strikes. A little dramatic, but it's good. Strike 2. Count is 1-2. Top of the 6th, 1-0. Mansfield is out. Strike 3. Sigmund strikes out. There's one out. Charlie DeSells steps up to bat. 1 for 2 on the day. He had that very strong 2-bagger back in the 4th inning. Makes contact again, right back to Ryan, who throws to first for the easy out. That brings up the cleanup hitter, number 9, Luke Rogan. Also with a double so far today, but then struck out back in the 4th. Again, Rogan already having committed to college play. Wanting to add one more division championship to his resume before he goes. Outside for a ball. So Johnson 8 strikeouts and 5 2/3. Ball 2. Two and 0. Inside for a ball. And Ryan's behind 3-0. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle. Strike 1. Tempting Luke to take it, and he waits. Here's the pitch on the 3-1 count. Right in the corner for a strike. Full count. Johnson painting the corners again here today. Looking for strikeout number 9 to end the inning. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. Count remains full. By my count here, now I don't have the official book here, kind of trying to do play-by-play and do statistics at the same time. Ryan's only given up 3 hits so far today. Ball 4, outside. Only his second walk for the day. And that brings up number 10, Luke McGuire, the DH in the 5 spot. Actually, I believe we have a substitution. Coming up to bat for Mansfield is number 1. Stepping in for the DH, Max DiMarino, Jr. for Mansfield. Slow roller to second base, throw to first in time. 1 pitch. Sits him down. And once again, the score remains 1-0. Oliver Ames looking to grab that lead here. Running out of time, but they have two more opportunities to make it happen. Well, getting back to some community events, the Easton Food Pantry distributes food to Easton residents in need every Monday from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., weather permitting. It's at the rear of the Fellowship Church, which is at 604 Foundry Street, South Easton. Call ahead to register. You can call 781-333-6284. Please consider a donation of non-perishable food for your Easton neighbors. The pantry is especially in need of nutritious cereal. Shaw's and Roche Brothers have collection bins near their exits. See eastonfoodpantry.org for additional information. It's also a great time to remind you that this copyrighted telecast is the property of Easton Community Access Television and Easton Public Schools. No rebroadcast, redistribution, or repurpose of this broadcast is permitted. But with all that being said, it is the bottom of the 6th inning, and Oliver Ames is running out of time. But at the same time, there have been some opportunities, and you kind of want to feel that they're due here a little bit, especially with the fact that it's been a little bit since OA's had a win against Mansfield. Today would be a great day to break that streak. Cade Fowler, the number 2 hitter, swings and misses for a strike, checks his swing, a no call, appealed to the first base umpire, who calls a strike, which makes it 0-2. So Cade in a hole here early and is at bat here in the 6th inning. Whoa, well high over his head. He has to duck, and the ball is about 2 feet away from me. There was a race for the ball. Not quite sure what I just witnessed there. Looked like the one of the coaches just slid right in front of the broadcast location here to pick up the wild pitch. Anyway, hijinks aside, the count is 1-2. Here's the pitch. Contact is made to the shortstop, who throws to first, throws over his head, but he jumps and grabs it, brings it down in time for out number 1. Peabody remaining in the game right now here in the 6th inning. I don't see anyone warming up for Mansfield yet. There is action in OA's bullpen, however. Strike 1 to Baroncelli. So far, 2 for 2, 2 singles. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Can't tell who's warming up in the bullpen right now, but there does seem to be some action. AJ hits that foul for strike 2. Looks like Alex Sade may be warming up in the bullpen for Oliver Ames, perhaps coming in relief in the 7th. Not a save situation, so we're behind, but a tight game. That ball's cracked out to the left field. The left fielder loses his cap, but catches the ball for out number 2. DH Henry Burr back up to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day so far. Just touches the outside corner for a strike. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. Right on that outside corner once again for strike 2. If there's a pitch that's even sniffing the outside corner, that's going to get called today. Again, 1-2. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3, and that will end the inning. One more inning to go here at Frothingham Park. The score remains 1-0. We'll be back in a moment here on ECAT.
Go. Guys, pick up Jack. Pick him up.
Hello and welcome to Easton News. I'm Joe Taft.
And I'm Jack Ryan, and together we bring you everything you need to know about Easton, including politics.
The Town of Easton is undertaking a crucial public safety and public works facilities replacement project to enhance essential services for the community.
Community events.
Mark your calendars and get your costumes ready. The Easton Food Pantry will be hosting a Halloween parade.
And sports.
Boys soccer stayed hot, defeating Stoughton 2-1. That was the team's 5th straight division title and 4th in a row in the Davenport.
With APCSM guest segment Pet of the Week.
Hi, I'm Katie with the Animal Protection Center, and today we have a little Iris.
With help from special correspondent Wyatt Fain. Join us
for Easton News.
Playing 6 o'clock, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays.
Jack, here you go. Top 7. Go, top 7. Go, Ken Jennings.
Come on, Johnson! And we're back here on ECAT. It is the top of the 7th. Mansfield remains up 1-0. Pop fly, right field. Caught for an out. Ground ball, shortstop, got in time for the out. Out number 2, incredible. Great play there for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for Oliver, or for Mansfield rather. Oliver Ames sitting them down. Evan Heffez up to bat, 0 for 2 for the day. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. One ball, no strikes. Hit to the outfield for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning. But the time of reckoning has come for all of our Ames. They've got a half inning left. Need to put at least 1 on the board to keep this contest going. Well, as you know, it is currently the tricentennial for the Town of Easton, the 300th anniversary. And there's all kinds of anniversary events that are going on here in Easton. More than I can give to you right now, but if you want more information, you can go to easton300.org, or as always, you can go on the town website and find out. One of the largest parades in Easton's history is supposed to be getting pulled off this summer, and there's activities really for every month, including some fireworks during the summer as well. You don't want to miss it. So there's a pitching change for Mansfield. They're bringing in Riley Sigmund, the senior utility player. And Oliver Ames has the chance for some 7th inning heroics here. How great would it be to see a walk-off right now? I think we'd all like to see that. The temperature is definitely dropping here at Frothingham Park. We're feeling it here on the field. Like I said, it's a small crowd. It's a hearty crowd that's here right now. A lot of hoodies, mittens, gloves, you name it. No space heaters, though. Got to work on that for the next time. Would be great for those who are out here. We're all bundled up, but I'll tell you, this has been a great one so far today. What a game. And Ryan Johnson, 6 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, gave up 3 hits from my recording here, which you may have to take with a grain of salt, but at the same time, he had just a masterful pitching performance here today. No matter what the end result is, he can hold his head up high. So we'll be starting with a pinch hitter, number 2, Patrick DeLogri is up to bat right now. First pitch, low for a ball. 1 to tie, 2 to win for Oliver Ames. Again, the score is 1-0. It's been 1-0 since the first inning. Ground ball to the first baseman for out number 1. Well struck, but unfortunately it was right to the first baseman, Luke Rogan, who made the out. Drew Hall's up to bat, 1 for 2 for the day. Had a single in the second inning. Here's the pitch, right down the middle for a strike. Drew steps back into the batter's box. And just outside for a ball. 1-1. Good take there by Drew. That's tough because that has been called a strike, or at least very close to it throughout this game. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Drew shakes it off. Looking to get a board. 2 more outs remain for Oliver Ames. 1-0. Here's the pitch. Pop up, but it is just out of play. We remain 1-2. Drew staying alive. Steps in. You can feel the tension here at the field. He connects. That's going deep. The left fielder is going to make the catch, though, for out number 2. Oh, man, that was tough. Great strike at the ball by Drew. But the left fielder was able to take about 7 or 8 steps back to make the catch. And OA is down to its final out. Tommy Whiteside looking to keep this game going. Tommy, the senior. Here's the pitch. He connects, and that hits the first base. It remains in play, but the tag is made at first base, and that will end the game. An unfortunate turn of events to end the game, as that ground ball hits the first base and then remains in play. If it goes and bounces out, Tommy would still be alive, but gritty play today from Oliver Ames. They may have lost the game and dropped to 1-1 on the season, but they can hold their heads up high because they played one heck of a game today. And you got to think, with a 4-16 record last year. They're 1-1 right now. That it may not have been the result we were looking for today, but I think we've got a lot to look forward to from Oliver Ames baseball here in 2025. Speaking of that, our next broadcast of Oliver Ames baseball will be on Friday, and we hope that you'll join us at 3:45 for the next game from Frothingham Park. And I know that, we're praying that it's warmer on Friday. So on behalf of our producer and engineer, Jack, as well as our camera, Preston and Eric, I'm play-by-play announcer Adam Rivero, signing off from Frothingham Field, where the Mansfield Hornets have won today 1-0 against our Oliver Ames Tigers. We'll see you Friday here on ECAT.
ECAT's production of OA Sports are provided by RevT, we simplify technology for better, Easton Lions Club, Morris Insurance, Doug King Bills Incorporated. ECAT would like to thank all the sponsors for the support of producing OA Sports.